Let me start off by saying this was the best crappy game I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you had two teams playing some crappy football, but the game was so damn exciting at the end. I couldn't help but enjoy watching the game and be happy that I managed to get this game in my coverage. So, now that I've said that, maybe I've piqued your interest. Let's have a look. 49ers win on a last-minute touchdown run by Arnaz Battle on a receiver reverse, 20 to 17. This is just a further testament to the Arizona Cardinals past. They're trying to change that past by hiring new coaches and bringing in draft picks that they wouldn't have made in previous years. Like, you know, I don't think Dennis Green would have taken an offensive lineman at number 5 overall. And then they go out there on the field week 1. I thought they looked like the better team out there. I felt that they had the 49ers on the ropes and were ready to just pack up and win this game, and they give it away. Isn't that so Arizona Cardinals like? It's I imagine I haven't seen very many Cardinals fans anywhere ever, but I imagine it must be extremely frustrating. And for the 49ers, they don't have a lot to brag about. They played just as bad as Arizona, but they did win, so they get to hang their hat on that. So nice job with that comeback at the end. I was rolling around laughing when Alex Smith came up with that long scramble on 4th and 1, because, that's the Cardinals for you. Alex Smith came up with a pretty poor outing, 15 to 31 for a buck 26. Those are running back numbers, man. Frank Gore himself, the running back for the 49ers, did worse. 18 carries, 55 yards. This isn't the guy who was running everyone over last year. I know it's just the first game. I'm not making any judgments now. I fully expect Alex Smith to be at least a competent game-managing quarterback. And I expect Frank Gore to, get at least 1,300 rushing yards. But kind of a flat start. That being said, they did make those clutch plays at the end. I give credit to Alex Smith at the end, looking a little like John Elway, showing a little shades of what like Jay Cutler did yesterday. Arnaz Battle made quite a few big plays. Nobody seems to know about this guy, but he seems to be a pretty solid player. Darrell Jackson made a couple of plays, but then he had a couple of big drops and that penalty at the end. So, same old Darrell Jackson. He'll make plays for you, and you'll love him 1 minute, then he'll do something stupid and you'll hate him. I know, he was a Seahawk his entire career, so I kind of know what I'm talking about here. So that's what you can expect from DJ week in and week out. And why are they not getting the ball in the hands of Vernon Davis? This guy is a playmaker. If you've ever played Madden with Vernon Davis, he's like Satan in that game. A tight end who can run as fast as a receiver. That's not even fair. Somebody please get the ball to Vernon Davis. This guy is a complete freak. And if you get the ball in his hands enough, he's going to make plays. So somebody get him the ball. Very good showing by the 49ers defense. Patrick Willis, the rookie, 11 tackles and a forced fumble. If anybody is going to push Puzzlesny out of the Defensive Player of the Year talk, it's probably Patrick Willis. Bryant Young looking young again. He's an old guy. I think he's going to retire at the end of this year, but still able to contribute to his defense every now and then. Picked up a sack today. Walt Harris is still the guy he was last year. Some people thought it was a fluke year, including me, and it's not out of the question yet, but that pick right at the beginning of the game was huge, as it turned out. The 49ers defense was just blitzing real well and getting after the quarterback, I felt, and stuffing the run on occasion. And in the end, they held Arizona to just 17 points, so you can't argue with the results like that. As for Arizona, when Matt Leinart came out of USC in the 2006 draft and went to Arizona, I liked him then. And then I read about the comments he made after the Rose Bowl. I know that was well before the draft, but I didn't really hear about it until later on. And then I hear him whining in every interview he gives about feeling disrespected because he fell in the draft, even though his fall in the draft was completely justified. And now I hear about what he's been doing, the stupid holdout, hanging out with Paris Hilton. I'm liking him less and less. Now I'm thinking, no, maybe I should nickname him Pretty Boy. I hate pretty boys. Um, and that's what he's looking like out there right now. I mean, 14 and 28, 102 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. One pick started the game, gave the 49ers an early touchdown. Other pick ended the game. So, weak game by Matt Leinart, a guy that my friend expects to be a Hall of Famer when he retires. And that's probably premature of him, but I liked him coming out of college, and it seems like ever since, I know he's still young, there's still room for improvement, there always will be. He could improve drastically over the next couple years, but I'm not seeing it out of him. He was supposed to be a smart, intelligent quarterback that made things happen because he knew where to put the ball. I'm not seeing it. He's not taking advantage of his weapons. I mean, I will say, great job by the 49ers secondary shutting down those top wide receivers, but I got to put some of this on Leinart. We saw 2 young quarterbacks underachieve tonight. 2 young quarterbacks that I think have a sharp future in the NFL. I've already said before, I'm a big fan of Jay Cutler, not so high on Vince Young. So, there you go. Okay, good news for Arizona. Well, it's tough to say good news after they choke away a game against a team that they feel they should have beaten in a game they could have won, but Edge looks sharp. He touched the ball 28 times, produced over 100 yards of offense, was, juking and jabbing around the field with 92 yards and a touchdown. You'll take that. That was some sharp stuff right there. Really impressed with how Edge looked out there, especially given what happened last year. And really weak play from the receivers. Pretty much 20 yards a pop for all the main offensive weapons in Arizona. Pretty sorry performance against a 49ers defense that I personally think can be exploited. Defensively for Arizona, they got after the quarterback pretty well. I saw Adrian Wilson get into the backfield so many times it's not funny. And you guys know how I feel about Adrian Wilson. They scored 3 sacks, got quarterback pressures at other points, forced some fumbles, and for most of the game they controlled the 49er offense extremely well, but then at the end they could not get it done. They had opportunities to hit and sack Smith. They had an opportunity to end the game right there on that 4th and 1. Instead, they let Smith scramble for 25 yards, which shouldn't happen. Alex Smith is not, Donovan McNabb or Steve Young. He's Alex Smith. He's not a great scrambler. That's not supposed to happen. So in the end, Arizona plays well in some aspects of the game, I felt, especially when it came to how the offensive line and the running game performed, and the defense, but they still lose, and that's what Arizona football seems to be all about. I kind of like Wisenhunt. I didn't pick Arizona as a sleeper team again for the 5th straight year, but I like what he's bringing to this team, but it didn't fail to produce a win. So what else can you say? Okay, I got about a minute here, so I'm going to spin around the league. Lots of devastating injuries. Orlando Pace, Mike Brown, Dusty Dvorak. Just a really nasty week in football all around for injuries. Not pretty. Lito Shepard's going to miss some time. Jonathan Ogden got hurt. Man, it was just nasty. And also, I am now adding the New York Football Giants to the list of teams competing for that top pick. No Eli for a month. No Jacobs for a month. That means no offense. They already have no defense. The New York Giants will compete for a top 5 pick, along with the Chiefs, the Falcons, let me think here, the Buccaneers, and, that 5th spot is kind of a bit of a toss-up, but I'll go with Cleveland. Those 5 teams, I think, will, in some order, get those top 5 picks. Especially if the rumor about Eli missing the entire season is true. So, good luck, Big Blue. You'll need it, but it won't help you. And with that, I'm out. I'm getting a webcam real soon, by the way, so you'll see me soon.